Marge was taken to the police station for questioning. She told Clancy the news that Homer might have been kidnapped by the group of people who went crazy at the restaurant. But Clancy had been choked up for a long time over his good friends. Most importantly, Fat Tony's face had been turned into the shape of a donut. This made him unable to eat donuts. Marge urged the chief to pull himself together because Homer hadn't been found yet, and she said she felt this matter was related to Flanders. The chief believed that if Homer was involved in this, the probability of him being alive was already slim. Moreover, the killer was practically Satan, and he didn't have the courage to bring him to justice either. So he took off his police uniform and left. Marge looked at the fallen clues and discovered the killer was driving the car that had been stolen not long ago. So she went online to search for clues. On the other side, Flanders felt very guilty and wanted to gather the ransom to rescue Homer. He had donated the $170,000 he found to the orphanage in his grandfather's name, but now he needed this money. Flanders had always regarded his righteous grandfather as an idol. While shaving, 3 thugs walked in, so he had the barber take Flanders out, and the gangsters who were about to teach him a lesson the previous second pulled out a stack of cash the next second.
My favorite time of day. Bravo clock. Woo!
Flanders would never know that his grandfather was an accomplice of the gang, and in order to maintain his reputation in Flanders' mind, every time they would find a gang member to cooperate with his performance.
Papa, you're the finest man I'll ever know.
Once during a gang deal, a conflict arose due to unhappiness over splitting the loot. Flanders' grandfather went out to mediate, but it was too late. The fight had already started. Helpless, he could only hide under the car to pray for God's forgiveness and vowed to reform himself. When he came out from under the car, only one person remained on 2 sides. He felt sorry for his brothers, but was glad he could pocket all the $170,000 himself.
Sorry, God.
Suddenly a siren sounded, and he had to hide the stolen money in a tree hollow and show his police badge. But he found that the person who came was not a police officer, yet he still refused to reveal the whereabouts of the money.
Oh, come on!
The debt collector also recorded his first debt, and the police who rushed over knocked the tree with the money to the bottom of the mountain because the road was slippery. This money was picked up by Flanders, who donated it to the orphanage in his grandfather's name. Only now he urgently needed this money to rescue Homer.
We love you, Mr. Flanders!
On the other side, the couple who kidnapped Homer was about to celebrate their anniversary, but the woman quarreled with him because they hadn't gone on vacation in 10 years of marriage. Homer found a chance to escape, so he kept instigating the two, and he said whatever they had to say should be expressed directly. The man actually did and said directly that the woman was becoming more and more like her mother. He got punched directly, and the couple started fighting. Homer was pouring oil on the fire to save himself when suddenly the stove caught fire on the other side. Homer told them, but they were focused on fighting and didn't hear. Just like that, as the fire spread, they fought more and more intensely until they drew guns on each other.
Happy anniversary!
Homer was relieved that the two reconciled, but said they should leave here first. At this time, Flanders had already infiltrated the orphanage to steal the donation. Just as he was looking for the key, Barb returned to the office and questioned why he was here. Just as he was about to explain, he found the key was around her neck, so he pretended to like her and used his charm.
You can do this, Nettie. Just think about Homer Simpson.
On the other side, Homer had already passed out in the blazing fire. Fortunately, Marge discovered him in time and successfully rescued him. Homer promised he wouldn't be so selfish anymore, and Flanders also successfully got the key through his charm. Then he stole the $170,000 donation from the safe. Barb, who realized it belatedly, pulled up the flag and threw it at Flanders. Flanders thought this was God's punishment, so he began to confess that he did this only to save Homer. But he suddenly found Homer driving towards him from the opposite direction.
Oh, there he is.
After the accident, Homer rushed to rescue Flanders. When he opened the car door, a bag of money on the passenger seat caught his attention. Despite being in a sea of fire and getting severely burned, he still